Get ready for the fight of your life. Fight it out. Who will come out on top?
This episode of Fiction Face Off was brought to you by MovieClips.com. Santa Claus is the iconic mascot of the Christmas season, which explains why every year there's always some hater trying to impersonate him and ruin this festive holiday, like the Grinch who stole Christmas, and Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King. I'm Starlord X7, and it's my job to see who would win in a fiction face-off. Let's begin with the origin stories. Every Who done in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. Ever since the Grinch was a young thing, he had a certain dislike for Christmas. He never really hated it, but it was just something he didn't seem to be interested in, until one day he found out that a girl at school had a crush on him and decided to make her a Christmas present. But in the process of making it, he recalled people making fun of his hairy face. So then, with razor in hand, he gave it a shave. Unfortunately, the shaving left ugly marks on his face, and when he went to school the next day, the students and even the freaking teacher had laughed at him. This was it for the Grinch. In a fit of rage, he tossed a very large Christmas tree across the classroom and headed for the hills. The Grinch never came down, and has ever since then decided to have never-ending hatred for Christmas. But then one day, after hearing the Who's make so much noise, he finally snapped and found out a way to shut up the Who's by stealing Christmas. But after realizing that Christmas doesn't come from a store, he returned everything he's stolen, his heart grew 3 sizes, and now he loves Christmas. And I think he just forgave the people that were mean to him. But even though he's a good guy now, we can never forgive him for abusing his dog Max. But hey, anyone who's had a crossover with the Cat in the Hat has to be cool, right?
I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming.
Jack Skellington was the ruler of Halloween Town, making everything as scary as possible, but however, he got tired of the same old thing as time went on though. Until one day when he came across a bunch of doors that led to other holiday-themed worlds while walking through the forest, but the world that Jack loved the most was a place simply known as Christmas Town. Jack opened the door and he fell in, and when he saw Christmas Town, he absolutely loved it, even at the point for him wanting it for himself. So what Jack did is he kidnapped Santa on Christmas Eve and gave Christmas Town and the rest of the world his own scary little version of Christmas. But after getting attacked by the military, he realized the chaos that he's created, so what he did is he went back to Halloween Town to bring everything back to normal after thwarting his nemesis, the no-account Oogie Boogie.
What's this? What's this? There's powder everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. There's children throwing snowballs instead of throwing heads. They're busy building toys and absolutely no one's dead. There's frost in every window. Oh, I can't believe my eyes. And in my bones I feel the warmth that's coming from inside.
My dearest Jack.
Sally.
Okay, now that we briefly went over their origin stories, let's go over to the round chart that you can see here to see who would win in a fiction face-off. But first, let's talk about our sponsor, MovieClips.com. Are you looking for a website where you can see clips from some of your favorite movies? Well, you're in luck. MovieClips.com is the perfect website for you. Not only can you see clips from some of your favorite movies, but just by going to the Movie Clips YouTube channel, you can rent the full movie for 1 day for $1 and see the whole thing. So if you like what you see, head on over to that channel and subscribe. But right now, it's time for a fiction face-off. Round 1. Strength. The Grinch is so strong that he can toss up large bags of Christmas gifts out of chimneys so hard that they launch up into the air. But his strength doesn't stop there. He's capable of lifting up the large tree in the middle of Whoville with ease. He's also strong enough to lift up his entire sleigh with everything he stole from Whoville in it. And although Whoville's a rather small town in the cartoon, in the movie Whoville's a large town. And since the Grinch stole every Christmas item in the town, including the gifts, food in every fridge, Christmas trees, and decorations, he's quite strong. Jack Skellington, on the other hand, is strong enough to lift up the one and only Santa Claus. And according to some experts, Santa Claus at least weighs around 280,000 pounds, and that's quite impressive for someone as scrawny as Jack. But even though that is impressive, we gotta give the point of the strength round to the Grinch. Round 2, Speed and Agility. The Grinch is very quick and nimble despite his weight. For starters, he stole every Christmas-related object in Whoville in just one night, which in the movie took less than 4 hours to complete. Not to mention, he took his spare time breaking things and messing with toys while still managing to do it. The Grinch is also rather sneaky. For starters, he stole everything in Whoville, including the presents, food in every fridge, decorations, etc. without being detected. Not to mention, he managed to outrun an explosion. Jack is also very quick and agile. Not only can he dodge bullets, but he's also so fast that he can dodge all of Oogie Boogie's traps while still being able to defeat him in A Nightmare Before Christmas. Not to mention, just like the Grinch, he also ruined Christmas in just one night. So we gotta give the point of this round to Jack Skellington. Round 3, Durability. The Grinch has some impressive durability. For one, he can twist his entire head around 100 degrees and be perfectly fine. What is this, The Exorcist? He's also survived for an impressive amount of time with an extremely tiny heart. He's even survived having his heart grow bigger than his entire chest. But Jack is twice as durable as that. Not only does his undead physiology give him the ability to tear off his own body parts without feeling any pain, but he's also capable of lighting himself on fire even though people say that's his weakness. So we gotta give the point of this round to, once again, Jack Skellington. Round 4, Intelligence. The Grinch is a very crafty strategist, often thinking out his plans and then acting on them in quick succession. If things are to go wrong in his plan, he's great with coming up with lies and fooling his foes. The Grinch is so smart that he can easily build his own technology. Heck, he even invented his own rocket-powered sleigh.
I'm going to throw up, and then I'm gonna die!
Jack, on the other hand, may not be good at coming up with plans and inventing things like the Grinch, but however, he knows a lot about the Christmas holiday in general. For example, in the Nightmare Before Christmas movie, Jack mentioned that he knows all the Christmas songs and stories in and out by heart, which means that not only Jack knows the story of how the Grinch stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss, but he also knows the Grinch's theme song that was sung by Thurl Ravenscroft. However, Jack can be pretty childlike. So it looks like we gotta give this point to the Grinch. And lastly, round 5, Weapons and Fighting Skill. The Grinch has different gizmos and gadgets in his arsenal. He has a Santa Claus suit for disguise. He has a Who costume that somewhat works. He has a bow and arrow, a bugle horn for making very loud noises. He has a saw for cutting off objects. He has a sleigh for riding, a whip for whipping, and a magnet for attracting metallic objects. He has a cane to thwack his foes, a rope which he can use to transport himself from one place to another. What is he hanging off of? He also has the paraphernalia wagon, which, once open, it would send his victims into a world full of monsters and creepy imagery. The Grinch can seemingly control that entire world and able to summon strange-looking creatures and structures. He can even morph the world into different settings, such as underwater. However, if his victims remain 3 minutes in this world without being scared, they will immediately be brought back to the real world. And strangely enough, he can take off his own eyebrows and use them to cut his victims. He also has a mirror that can talk to you in mean ways when confronted. He has a car that can kill plants using gas, and a vacuum sound sweeper. The sound sweeper can send a beam of light towards his foe, messing with their voice and messing with any song they had going on. And we all know the Grinch's opponent loves to sing. He does this by sucking up noise in the air and gurgling it for 50 miles around. The Grinch claims that the sound of your voice is his choice when using this machine. He can even just stop noise altogether, leaving his foe without any noise. He also has the Dark Light, which can send a giant wave of darkness towards his foes, blocking their sunlight. The wave can become so dark that his victims can't even see their hand in front of their own face. This device can send darkness at a radius at about 100 miles. It even managed to eclipse an entire town in darkness. The device also has a setting where it can ruin the color of an object and the taste of an object as well. And for some reason it can warp reality, causing colors to morph, objects to bounce, and environments to change. He also has a razor, but I'm not sure if that's really useful in combat. But he can even steal gifts from children's dreams. He even has a flamethrower which can disintegrate a large Christmas tree, leaving nothing but the star that was once left on top of it. Anywho, he can even change his size at will, with no explanation at all. He can either become really small or really large. I'm learning so much today. And finally, he can stick to walls just like a spider. However, he'll always go back home if he's not motivated enough, like if the hack and hack stop howling. Also, he has a problem when people call him Greenface. But even though the Grinch is kind of mean, he will never let a child die on his watch. Jack also has some pretty cool weapons in his ginormous arsenal. He has a skeleton reindeer which can fly at extreme heights. He has his frog gun which can shoot really toxic gas. He has his Santa Claus suit. He has large pumpkin bombs which can make really big explosions. A soul robber which is capable of killing ghosts and phantoms. Killer toys which are capable of killing you. He even has a snake that can swallow an entire Christmas tree in a matter of seconds. Jack also has his Pumpkin King form which gives him the ability to control fire. And since Jack Skellington loves to sing, he can even create giant musical notes that can attack his enemies for him. And since Jack Skellington is an undead skeleton after all, the Grinch's weapons barely have any effect on him since the Grinch doesn't have any weapons that are known for killing undead people. Not to mention, Jack is twice as good when it comes to fighting, because he's fought armies of monsters single-handedly while the Grinch has never been in an actual fight before. So when it comes to weapons and skills, we gotta give the point of this round to once again Jack Skellington. And according to the scoreboard here, it looks like Jack is twice as powerful as the Grinch, because not only is he faster and more durable, but he also has better fighting skill and better weapons. Making the winner of this Fiction Face-Off the one and only Jack Skellington. Next time on Fiction Face-Off!
Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell time and jingle bell time, dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square in the frosty air.
Merry Christmas, everybody!